So I think I'm not sure if something was up with the.
Hmm?
I'm looking at the YouTube channel, like the SuperDerek YouTube channel, and for
Hmm.
some reason, like it was saying that we weren't live. I'm not sure what's up with that.
Oh, yeah, it says it's waiting.
Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. But I think I fixed it now. So hopefully,
Oh, so now is live.
yeah. So now it just went live in the middle of the show. That's
Good
awesome.
job, Derek. Good job. You nailed the opening
I
for what
know.
it's worth.
I
Yeah.
guess I guess for everybody
Just
who's just joining us now, you'll have to go over to the new YouTube channel where we've been live this whole time to see
oh
what happened
geez.
in the salacious moments prior.
Oh no. Well, all the more incentive to visit the new channel of which we have provided. Well, I'm glad you put the link in. Can we pin that? Can
Uh,
we Is there no
yeah,
pin?
I
Yeah, we
can
can pin
actually
the
pin. There we go.
yeah.
I've pinned it. Sorry about
All
that, folks.
right.
Okay, so
Okay.
the most professional podcast on all of YouTube, right here,
Yes.
everybody. So, all right. I think that was the comment from the Ninja Mouse we just finished responding to,
Yes.
right? All right, so
Hmm.
I'll move on here to this one from Freddy Ken, who says Atelier Roslariana, the gotcha game, is technically a main game. The name Roslariana comes from the two protagonists, Resna and Valeria. Um, I am currently reading one chapter of the story a day, and reading one chapter of the story a day, and so far the character and story are quite and are quite and the world is interesting. Okay, I'm not
Yes.
sure. Yep.
I think that's what they meant. It's like the character story in the world quite interesting.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Which makes it much more sad to me that this is a mobile game, and I wish it was a standard single player console game because I
Well, you're
like the
in luck.
characters and the world. Yeah. So the reason we were talking about Resli Ariana in the first place was because of this single player adventure. So sounds like this is really shaping up to work out for them. They say that
Yeah.
the gameplay I don't really play because I think the mobile gacha systems destroy it for the most part for me. I agree with that. And I only read the story. I will definitely look out for Atelier Resli Ariana and the Alchemist and the White Guardian, the console game in parentheses. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So thank you so much for that, Freddie. And
Thank you.
honestly, for the for the timestamps every single week too, I much appreciate it. Saving my bacon week after week. And
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
Resliana,
Yes.
as far as the Atelier games go, like we haven't really seen a whole lot of this in action yet. We've just got that kind of short teaser trailer that had I don't even think it showed off much gameplay at all, did it? Or was it just a teaser at this point?
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, you know what? I think I think this is the thing that I think is important, right? When people are more excited to hear that you are releasing a standalone game than they were when you announced that this game will be a mobile game, that should be a cue to what the people want. I don't know. That uh, pretty straightforward, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Koei Tecmo. It seems like people are a lot more excited with this than with just a trailer with no gameplay. They were already excited. So I don't
To
know.
be
Maybe
fair,
I just live in a bubble. I don't
to
know.
be fair, people would probably be a little more excited for Resli Rihanna, the gotcha game, without any gameplay.
I
uh,
actually,
I
I didn't even know that it came out. As soon as I saw Atelier Gotcha, and I
yeah,
immediately closed down all the windows associated and never looked at it again. You
I know.
know?
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Now they're getting headlines and they're getting discussion on podcasts like this one because of the tie-in, the
Mm,
adjacent game in the
yeah.
universe. So now people are like, "Oh, I didn't even know that this game existed." And
Hmm.
now I know that
Yeah.
there's a gotcha of it, and I still don't care.
That's exactly it.
I mean, that's the hope anyway. I know that some people do play gacha, and that's fine if you do, but it's just not for me. I don't.
Yes.
But I'm also the kind of person who never played Pokemon cards. I never collected baseball cards. Really, like the whole like mystery pack stuff
Not
for
a
me. Just,
gambler, are you?
I mean, you'd be surprised if you like watch me play any RPG with like a casino on Twitch. Because I will diverge from the main plot for like 30 hours if it means that I can get some special like end game loot 10
Hmm.
hours early. I will put 30 hours into the casino for that to happen.
Yeah,
um
but you see in game casinos, it doesn't favor the house.
no,
See,
no,
that's the
no.
difference.
Well, it depends on the game. Depends on the game.
Really?
Yakuza, yeah, yeah. The Like a Dragon. Let me tell you, those odds felt
Stacked
pretty
against
stacked
you.
in the. Yeah, yeah. They felt realistic.
I see. Yeah,
It's like,
most of the gambling games that well, most of the casinos like DQ or
oh
something,
yeah,
like the odds are definitely with you. Like
uh huh.
you're going to win big
Oh yeah.
from
With
this.
Pokemon, even like you put on some sort of like auto clicker on the
Yeah.
controller and just like walk away for 2 hours, come back and you're a millionaire. You know,
Mm-hmm. That's
gotta
right.
gotta love it.
Yep.
So all
All
right. So
right.
before we move on
Mm-hmm.
from the comments from last week, I should also mention that, guys, we do have a voicemail number that you can call and leave us a voicemail, and we'll listen to it live on the air. You can reach us at 785-337-3805, or you could email us a file with your recording to hitpoint at superderekrpgs.com. All right.
All
So
right.
now I think we're okay to go ahead and move along now to some updates to some previous releases, starting
All
with
right.
a free update to Sea of Stars, the
Yes.
Dawn of Equinox. We've talked
Yes.
about it a few times up to this point, like talking about what it was going to entail and when it was going to come out, and well, now it's out. It's finally out. This is the multiplayer
Wait, no,
introduction.
no, 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 no.
No?
This is not out yet. No, no, no.
Oh, it's
In
not out.
November. In
Oh, it
November.
will be out. It will
Yeah,
be
it
out.
will be out in November. Yes.
Okay, my bad. So this is the one with it's got a revamped prologue, three new difficulty options, local co-op entirely, by up to, or playable by up to three playable characters,
Hmm.
complete with a new cooperative timed hit mechanic, some bonus cinematic scenes, and from what I've been seeing, like this is a lot of stuff a lot of people have been wanting and asking for
Yeah.
from Sabotage Studio. So this is extremely satisfying to see just on the horizon. And apparently, it's got a speedrunner mode relic,
Hmm.
some new combat mechanics, and more quality of life improvements. Like I think that if you've played it before, you can eventually get this parrot that tells you where to find certain items that you've missed, like seashells or something. I think, if I recall correctly, now it's going to be even more useful, from what I've heard. So I'm excited about it. Sea of Stars, I loved it already, and I think that people are going to be very happy with what's coming out. Um,
Absolutely. So I think the confusion with all this probably came from the fact that when they had first announced the DLC, which is the Throes of Watchmaker, I think
mhm.
some of these were supposed to be bundled into that DLC.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
what
it was always going to be
happened,
free though, but
yeah, well, I think what happened was that because they're able to, complete these, they want to get it out earlier.
mhm.
They have this new update called the Dawn of Equinox. So they want to get these things out rather than
Yeah,
bundling it with like the Throws of the Watchmaker.
I think that makes
So
sense.
yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's a very pro consumer thing to do. It's like, yeah, we've got all these cool things, like, and we're done with it. So let's just release it sooner rather than waiting for all these other things to come out. I think it makes perfect sense, and it's free. So I mean, come on, it's free, guys. Like, just please,
All
I'm not
right.
charging you for any of this. So good guys over at Sea of Stars, much appreciated. And as I mentioned, it's actually November. It's my fault. I didn't put a date. I forgot to like, put a date to it. Yeah, it's actually
How
coming out
dare you,
November
Baku?
12th. Oops. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what? No,
Just gotta start the whole show over now.
I was gonna say stick to the script, but then I realized that I made a mistake on the script, so that's me. That's my fault.
No, you're good.
Thank you so much for playing along, Derek. So yes, November 12th, this thing coming out. So you ready for some upcoming releases?
Yes.
All right. So for those who are new to the show, welcome to the show, by the way. Upcoming releases are things that are coming out within like a week of time. So anytime between now and basically next Sunday. These are all games that are coming out. We'll tell you a little bit about it, refresh your memories, watch a little trailer, and give you all the deets. Yes.
Yeah.
So we've got a hand-drawn platform adventure game from Maboroshi Artworks called Last Time I Saw You. And that game is actually coming out very soon, of course, being in this section. The game follows Ayumi, a young boy who lives in rural Japan in the 80s, as he unravels the curse that's been brought upon his town and the mysterious girl associated with it. So let's take a look at the trailer so that you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I have a very good feeling about this. You know, you give me a setting set in like the 80s, you give me a setting in Japan.
This is the 80s Japan. This is the mysterious girl that you run into.
Plus the hand-drawn, like, that's cool.
Yeah. Hand-drawn aesthetics. Looks great. Yeah, I'm definitely getting this. Definitely without a doubt. I love these like old-timey lores.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of cool.
This is a little bit ninja mini game.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Space for the Unbound, but not pixel arty. But
yeah, this one has more action gameplay. I think
it looks like
more platforming. Yeah. The First Love and the Terrible Curse. I didn't even know that that's the subtitle.
Well, you learned something.
First Love and a Terrible Curse. So there you go. I'm actually very excited for this. Like, it looks very unassuming, but I think it's gonna have a great story. At least it looks very promising.
These kind of games always sucker punch you in the.
I know. It's like, prepare to cry. You're gonna cry. You're going to cry. Anyways, this game is coming out on October 10th. Releasing on PS5, Xbox Series, the Switch, and PC via Steam. So all kinds of platforms. Really no reason not to play this thing.
All right. Moving along, guys, I made a video a while back talking about Sky Ocean's Wings for Hire, and it's crazy, but it's finally coming out this week. A lot of you might remember, I think around the time this game was announced, that a lot of people were like making comparisons to Skies of Arcadia, and it's really not anything like Skies of Arcadia, but it is really neat. It is this like dogfight turn-based RPG, like where all the fights take place up in airplanes and stuff, and I guess there are Sky Islands, and that is how some people might. It's kind of thematically linked to Skies of Arcadia.
The setting.
But yeah, otherwise it looks more like Wind Waker or Mega Man Legends, honestly.
Mega Man Legend.
Yeah, it kind of looks a little bit more like that. So anyways, it's from the developer Octeto Studios, and it's a new turn-based RPG called Sky Ocean's Wings for Hire, and it's releasing on the 10th here in just a few days. And in it, you'll be following the main character, Glenn, as he sets out to become the captain of his own crew of sky pirates. So let's check out.
I like the new trailer. You need to watch the new trailer.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new trailer yet. I think that the last thing that they added since I played part of it was voice acting, and I'm excited to see that.
Oh, that's definitely voice acting in this one.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what the actual turn-based combat looks like.
You know what? I'm actually super excited that they have decided to do like dogfight as like the turn-based mechanics
Yeah,
rather than like people, because not that I dislike having real people doing the turn-based battle, of course, but you know, that's like every game. This is different. This is unique. Like,
it is.
you know, like
It's wildly different.
yeah, the dogfight is the character. That's the turn-based.
Yeah. Now I know that some people in my review, well, talking about it,
Hmm.
they were really thinking like if there's no like out of plane turn-based fighting, that'd be kind of a deal breaker for them. I
Hmm.
still don't know if there's anything outside of it, but I don't think they've ever hinted at that there would
Yeah,
be.
I haven't seen anything outside the ship, to be honest. It's like Xenogear in a way where you know how Xenogear, um, they're like robot battles, or even like I don't know, like Trails of Cold Steel. They're like mech battles. It's like imagine just all mech battles, like no real people battle. Like they don't fight in person; they fight with their ships. So like here we are. That's kind of how I looked at it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't see any of all the material that I've seen. I have not seen any like actual person fighting.
All right.
Derek?
So,
Oh,
yep. Sorry, I'm just noticing that the next trailer that we're gonna watch won't
oh
load on Watch
yeah.
Together because it's rated M.
Well, I will
But
try to cover this fast then.
that's fine.
Yeah, well, more of a reminder for everyone now. This game that needs no introduction, the remake of Silent Hill 2 from Konami, which is crazy for me to say that there's a new game coming out from Konami. It's
Right?
like, what? New game from Konami? That we would talk about on this channel anyways. It's actually been released in 2 days. We can't see the trailer, but that's okay. But basically, Silent Hill 2 is coming out in 2 days, just in time for Spectober. Not for me, but for anyone who might be considering playing some kind of horror game for October. I mean, maybe consider Silent Hill 2.
This is the
It
prime
already
season
has.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it already has overwhelmingly positive review because if you buy it on Steam, I don't know about other platforms, but if you get on Steam, you get the deluxe edition, you get to play it early. So there's a
Oh,
lot of people
cool.
who are already playing it,
Hmm.
and it's just like overwhelmingly positive. So now that could be like a selection bias because think about it, anyone who would pay that deluxe probably is already a fan of Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
But you can also look at it the other way, which is anyone who would pay that amount of money is a fan of Silent Hill 2, maybe even extra critical of a remake. Have you seen old fans talk about remakes? Oh, they're critical. All right. So one reason or another, it is sitting at overwhelmingly positive right now. So that's a good sign. We will have to see. How the general public feel about it once October 8th comes along, which is in just 2 days, as it is being released on PS5 and PC. I mean, I am hoping that Konami makes the right move and actually bounce back because I think the projects that they have released so far for Silent Hill, like reboot, let's just call it Silent Hill reboot, right?
Sure.
There are multiple things in the project. There's like Ascension, there's like Project F, Silent Hill F. There's like this movie that is being made. They had
Mm.
all these things when they made that announcement, and so far nothing had looked good. Like nothing had gotten positive review,
Yeah.
except for this. So
Well,
and some of the other stuff just like we don't even know at what stage of like completion they're in.
sometimes it's
Um,
just hard to translate a game into a movie. I mean, you could ask Uwe Boll about that, I guess.
I mean, it's not even just a movie. I mean, the movie is like still being directed, but there's like Ascension. Ascension is like this weird social storytelling thing that they were trying to do. I still don't understand what
Mm,
Ascension is, and I've
okay.
heard nothing since its
It's weird.
launch.
I've
It's just,
heard I've heard of a lot of those kinds of projects where people are like trying to do these like interactive solve a
Mhm.
mystery as they release YouTube videos or something. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
I
Or
have no idea.
I've I've
To be
I've
very honest with you, I have
I've
no
seen a
idea
lot
what
of
they were
people do
trying to
weird
do.
stuff like that, and I'm never surprised when they don't go super viral because it's
Yeah,
like,
it was
why
just like
would anybody
extremely
want?
vague and
Yeah,
oh, all of you who are interacting with this get to decide and dictate the fate of yada yada. And I'm like,
I'd just rather
I'm
play a
good.
video game.
I'm good. Just let me play the game. Like, I don't know why you're doing all this crazy stuff. Like, look, you know what? Here's the thing. If they made the game and it's a hit and people are bought into this reboot, then they say, hey, we're doing this side thing where you kind of like interactively write the story with us. I
Yeah,
think that would be like a way better hook than doing this ascension thing out of nowhere and like
yeah,
that's the first thing that you release like after all these years not doing Silent Hills and you expect people to be like super excited and like involved in interacting. No, come
I
on,
feel that.
man.
Yeah,
Like I don't know,
I
but
think that's a
Silent
really
Hills
good point.
2 looks like it's doing great, so we'll see what happens. I'm actually very excited because I've never played Silent Hill before. It's just one of those, again, one of those games from back in the days when I had to pick and choose, and I picked Resident Evil over Silent Hill, and that's all I got because I don't have a lot of money. You can only get to pick one.
Hmm.
So I never play Silent Hill,
Silent
but I
Hill
want to. Yeah.
weirdly strikes me as more of the kind of game that I would probably actually enjoy because it's a bit
Really?
more psychological, a little less
Then like
just
zombie and goes.
yeah, a little less zombies run. It's a little more little more like cerebral. I think. Um,
That's fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did you already give the release date here for
So
this
are
one?
you gonna play Silent Hill 2? Well, but hold on, before we move on. So is that a confirmation that Derek might play Silent Hill 2?
I mean, on a long enough timeline, probably. Like if I live to be like 200 years old, and they stop making video games now, I might have enough time to play every RPG on my bucket list. And then who knows, maybe I'll start a horror game bucket list. But as for right now, um it's a little early to be making plans for that.
Okay, I want to share something with everyone, and that is like we're sitting at about like 370 some follow in the new channel. And I forgot who it was who made a comment in one of the videos. But we were saying, look, if we can hit 500 follows in October on the new channel, which is not, it shouldn't be like impossible. It should be doable.
Yeah.
Um, Derek will play a horror game. And
Did I
while he never said that he would do it, he did like the comment. So,
You know what?
you know what?
You know what?
You know what?
Sweet Home. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll play Sweet Home.
You play Sweet
On
Home?
Yeah, Sweet Home. It was the inspiration for Resident Evil. It was based on a movie. It was made for the Famicom. It was a Japan exclusive, but it got a fan translation.
Mhm.
If we make it to 500 guys, I will play it. We'll
There you
live
go,
stream it
guys.
on Halloween.
Incentives.
Yeah, I'll have stream it on Halloween. There we go. I'm not above begging. No.
There you go, guys. Incentives. If we can get 500 follows in the new channel, which again, I don't think it's impossible. Like we're like more than halfway there. Like Derek will play a horror game in Sweet Home
All right.
or Silent Hill 2, and I'll sponsor it.
All right.
All right. So speaking
Baku's
of
about to
Silent Hill
make
2,
Baku's about to make 130 alts and subscribe to us.
go on, go right on over there. Go to the new channel, which is by the way is pinned on the top chat, and we'll talk about like the new channel like later on too, because I think some folks might have missed like what we were talking about earlier. But we'll
Yeah,
we'll,
I
we'll
wonder
wait
why.
towards like the end of the show, I guess. Yeah. But anywho, the new channel is pinned in the message in Derek's chat. So if you're watching in Derek's channel right now, check out that that link
That pinned
to
comment,
our new
yeah.
channel. We're really trying to get monetized over there and then help us transition over to a standalone site. So thank you so much for your support. Back to Silent Hill
Okay.
2. Yes, this game is coming out on October 8th. That is in 2 days on
Oh,
PS5 and PC via Steam. So you have two ways to play.
all right.
Derek has the PS5, by the way.
I do. I do.
He
Um,
does.
So I've actually been playing a lot of PS5 in the last couple of days, and it's for a game I can't even
Are
talk
you
about,
enjoying
and
it?
it sucks.
Are
I've
you,
been enjoying playing a game very much, a
ooh.
lot more than I thought I would.
Hmm.
Um, I would say, yeah, I would say I'm enjoying my time
Sounds like a
quite a
new
bit.
Derek video in the making, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is in the making,
Yes.
and it has such a tight deadline too. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Hmm.
I'm fine. Everything is fine. Hey guys,
Everything is
did
fine.
you know that Atlas's newest IP and game that has been garnering praises from all who have played it is coming out this week?
Ooh,
It's a
what
little
would that
game.
be? I've been hiding under a rock. I have no idea what you're talking about. What
It's a
game is
little
that?
game. It's a little game called Simile. Wait, no, it's not a simile. It's a metaphor ReFantazio. And this
I'm just
it's
thinking in some alternative universe is called Simile, Fantasio again.
it's one of those forms of exaggeration. Anyways, so the game is going to be releasing on the 11th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC via Steam. And we've got the trailer. I wonder, will it play here too, or will it not? Okay, I
I think
think
it
it
will.
might.
Yeah, it's not giving you
Okay,
the warning and such.
all right. Well,
It's
yeah,
rated
time out.
teen.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the demo's also out, and people have been playing the demo for about a week now.
Hmm.
It is so fun.
I am abstaining from playing the demo, despite everyone's praising and they're like, "Oh, have you played the demo?" Nope. And again, the reason why I'm not playing the demo is because I know I will get the game. I'm already convinced. I want it to be a fresh experience when I
Gotta
play
play
it, when
from
I
start to
start that
finish.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to see the demo. Like even that is spoiling the experience for me. Right? I'm only playing demo if I'm like on the fence. Like I don't know if I want. Like this is truly a trial for me. And if the demo goes well, I'll buy it. But if I already
Yeah.
know that I'm getting it, then there's no point for me personally to get the demo.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
It's
Before anyone
it's
else, though.
clearly everybody who I know who's played it has enjoyed the heck out of it. I got to
Mm-hmm.
play it a couple months early at NYC. So much fun being out there to play it and like immediately just get to like talk shop with everybody who played it.
Ooh.
Dude, this legit like I'm they did reach out to sponsor a video for me. I'm like, I'm too busy, guys. But I do want to make a review of this game. Because it is I feel like this is gonna be the big one this year.
People have bombarded my inbox over metaphor.
Like I
Um, oh, like
I don't
guys, please.
I don't
stop.
usually like I don't usually say like, oh, game of the year. I don't even have like a game of the year list or like top
Mhm.
games of this year for me. Like it just seems not right. But this feels like of every game
This
that
could
I've
be
played
it.
so far, this feels like it's on another level.
Ooh,
Like it feels like
I
this
like
is
to hear that.
the big one of the
Yeah.
year. So yeah, anyways, it's coming out on the 11th, just
I don't know
5
how
days
Atlas
away from
does it,
now.
man.
And
I don't know how Atlas does it.
apparently there's also some streaming guidelines that Atlas have provided, and
Yeah.
it's kind of standard this time around.
Oh
Apparently you
yeah.
can stream and make videos, but not paywalls.
Yeah. No paywalls.
So you can't like make a pay money to watch me stream the game
Mm-hmm.
for money.
Yeah.
Sort of like
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I guess this is for
Like you can take
people who
donations,
are
but you can't
streamers.
paywall.
Yeah. So, for example, if you're streaming on Twitch or YouTube and people give you super chat or people give you bits and whatnot, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to turn off monetization. What they're saying is you can't make people pay you money and then let them see the thing.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't
you
charge
know,
admittance.
yeah, you can't charge admittance to this.
Which
That's what they're saying. Yeah, which is standard,
I do
actually.
wonder though
Yeah.
if because I know that there are some people who have like sub only streams on Twitch,
Mhm.
which is weird, but I guess that exists, and I
Oh,
guess you
on
can't do
YouTube
that
too,
with
like
this.
membership only content. Yeah, so
Oh
you wouldn't be able to do
yeah,
membership only content with this
yeah. I guess that's
because it
true.
requires you to have membership to see the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
then
So it makes
also,
sense. Hmm.
it's got to be, must have commentary and be transformative. So you can't just like, well, gosh, I know that the bar is really low.
You can't just like play the movie and make a video of just like their opening movie and then or
Yeah.
like play a certain song and set it on loop and don't add any commentary. It's not transformative. It's just the piece of music. Then
Yeah.
that's a no-no. But again, it's very standard. Like that's
But
basically a lot
but the
of
weird thing
games.
is, like,
Yeah.
they also want you to like apparently give proper credit, copyright notice, like as if I made this game, guys. Like that's the funny thing. Like of course, I mean, no that they made this game. Like who else would have?
They're
Like
getting there though. Give them some credit.
I
They've
know
gone a
it's
long
just
way since P5. Like
they've come a
P5 and then
long yeah
P3 and then now, like they're
yeah.
getting it. They're getting the
I
lawyers
still
are loosening
remember
up. Like
I still
you
remember
know,
when they ported Persona 4 Golden to PC. Like this 10-year-old game, and they're like, no spoilers.
yes, that was crazy. That was crazy. Everyone was crapping on Atlas for their streaming guidelines or whatever, or the
Yeah.
extremely strict guideline that they had.
But hey,
Now they just want you to
progress is
warn people.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
the one more thing that I forgot to put in, they want you to put a spoiler to say that it
oh
will
yeah.
contain spoiler. Again, just
Like,
of course we're streaming the game. What did you think you're walking into? But they want you to tell people that there are going to be spoilers in you streaming the game and playing the game. I guess you know what the spoiler tag is more for like videos, I guess, because you can technically make videos about the game that doesn't contain spoiler. I guess. Uh, I don't
yeah.
know.
Anyway, that's
Anyways,
neither
yeah.
here nor there. The game is
Progress.
phenomenal, and
Yeah.
Atlas is apparently getting a little better, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Celebrating progress.
Yep. Progress, not perfection. So
Progress, not profession. It's fine.
let's go ahead and switch on over to the new games that got announced.
Yes. So this one is my bad because I completely missed this, but I do want to talk about it. So if you haven't played Spike Chunsoft's latest hit, Master Detective Archives Raincoat, but you want to, or lament the fact that it was only released on the Switch. The Switch! If only it was on any other system, you would play it. Well, you might want to pay attention to this because I was one of those people. I'm like, I don't want to get this on the Switch. Spike Chunsoft just announced that they will be releasing the definitive edition called Master Detective Archives Raincoat Plus. In addition to the base game, the Plus edition will feature 4K compatibility. So in case you're playing on 4K TV, it'll look significantly better. Improved performances, probably with all the 3Ds. A new gallery mode, and all 5 sub-stories that were sold as separate DLCs will now just be included in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like not really getting the game all over again, but you're getting the game plus all the DLCs. And you know what? Here's the thing, and this is like a little anecdotal, but like all the friends who have played the game, like they played it on the Switch, they said this game is like phenomenal. So I haven't played it, so don't take my words for it. But we can take a look at the trailer actually, real quick, so that people know actually what even we're talking about.
Yeah, because it's not like one of those games that needs no introduction. It does need
Yeah.
it does need one. Here,
It's
let's pull
no,
that
it's
up.
no Danganronpa, but it is from the creator. It has the same art style, but it's like a distinct world that
Oh,
is
what
not
happened there?
related at all.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's not it. There we go.
Yeah, for some reason it skipped right in the middle.
Rain Code
Oh.
Plus.
There we
Raincoat
go.
Plus. Raincoat Plus.
I mean, it's raining, so yeah, maybe
It's
he's wearing a
raining, yeah.
raincoat, and it is.
My bitter past, my fun memories. I just
Yeah, so it has to do with
want to
like
protect the
murder
happiness
mysteries
of the Switch.
and it has some action element. It's not like a usual game, or a conventional game, I guess.
Sure.
Like it's
It
a
looks
lot of
pretty cool.
unconventional elements to it.
Help me save
But I've heard that it's very well put together. The story, the gameplay, like everything is
all information
superb from what I've heard, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and actually give it a shot. When
Did this
I have
one
time, anyways.
contain any turn-based combat, or was it, or was this the one that
It's
had
hard
not turn-based?
to
It had some kind of combat, right?
Yes.
But what about you?
I think I remember seeing
Not
some.
in the conventional sense, though.
Yeah, like you pick
Yeah.
sentences that are.
It's like,
it's-
yes. I don't want to be misleading. Like, you really just have to see this thing for yourself.
You know, it occurred to me. So somebody asked me earlier who the pink-haired girl was on the cover, and I just realized there were actually two pink-haired girls in the thumbnail. One of them is from here, and the other is from
Yes.
another game.
Yeah. You're really feeling the pink hair today.
I guess so.
Yes. And all these detectives have like different powers. I mean,
Yeah. So there's.
do you call that
That's right.
turn-based combat? It's like,
I don't know. There's some kind of combat. I don't know if it's based on turns or something else, but as long as there's like gameplay and not just like walking
oh yeah, no,
around
there's
and
absolutely
talking to
gameplay.
people.
This is not a visual novel. For anyone who's wondering, like, is this like a visual novel? I just sit there and just like watch things unfold. No, there's
Yeah, 'cause that's
absolutely
like-
gameplay in this. Yeah, this is totally a game.
Yeah, because I think Danganronpa didn't really have any combat of any sort.
No,
So
it
that's
didn't
why.
have combat.
So that's why I was
no.
like wanting a little bit of clarification on that, because
Mhm.
you know, I like combat.
That's what makes you sound so militant. You know, it's like, love
mean,
combat.
I-
Like,
But only if
beating
we
things,
take
dude.
turns hitting each other. That's very important.
You must love Pokemon. Speaking of taking turns to hit each other. So this game is actually immediately available. In fact, it was available as of like 5 days ago. And again, I'm only talking about this because I completely missed this. I thought whenever I read articles that mentioned Raincoat, I thought they were just talking about like the base game. I didn't see the word plus. So skipped through our radar. So that's my fault. Until very recently when they were talking about, the actual release. And I was like, oh, this is a thing. Oh my God.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
announced this a while ago.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of
yeah.
like when they released the new the new 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS. It's like a lot of people just didn't notice because it just said new, and
Yeah.
it's
Or if this
that's-
was
you
like a
got
simple
got.
port,
Mhm.
like that just like gives you 4K, I probably wouldn't mention it. But
Yeah,
this
it's
comes
just-
with all the DLC, which is the important part.
Yeah.
Like you pay for the game, you get all the DLC. You don't have to buy
It's
additional things. So
the definitive
It is
edition
different, yeah.
on more platforms, and that's cool.
Yeah. more ways to
So-
play. I'm not mad at it. Yeah.
Here's a creator. I've actually been following them on Twitter for like a year now.
Oh.
I know. I'm so excited for this. It's a brand new RPG inspired by the classic like 90s Zeldas and Secret of Mana or Seiken Densetsu rather, and the Soul Blazer series called Maple Forest. That's just been announced by Natsukaze, and they are the sole developer of this little like
I totally
Game Boy
misspelled
looking
soul.
game. Oh, that's all right. So, I mean, maybe both. Maybe SOUL
both, yeah.
and SOLE. Okay, let's check out the trailer together because I've been wanting to see more of this game for. It's just been screenshots up to this point for me. So
Let's just hit them up. Be like, yo, psst,
Look at this.
Natsukase, if you wanna hang out on the show for a minute, like, that'd be great.
so this is the fox in the thumbnail, by the way. It's a little fox Linky kind of guy.
That's cute.
Oh, he's got a hook shot, sort of.
Oh, that's a Secret of Mana thing.
Oh yeah, the whip. Definitely.
Yeah, the flashy spin and stuff. Like, just like,
Oh.
what are you?
I love the pixel art in this. Like, sure, it's monochrome Game Boy style, but
Mhm.
it's nicely done. And it's also definitely higher resolution than a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy would have been.
Most definitely.
Ah,
Yeah, we can definitely see the Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Stuff and inspirations.
I've been wanting to see this for so long.
Rupees.
Ooh. Yes. Oh, look at those lighting effects. That's cool.
Ooh.
This is so cool. I have a soft spot for Game Boy RPGs and action adventure games like this. As you might be able to tell, but oh man, the music in this is so good too. Like the effect, it's like a Super Nintendo sound chip, but
Ooh, that's
like
a scary looking boss.
What?
Is that the epoch? It looked like it for a second, okay?
It did look like the epoch. Probably not an unintentional reference.
Oh wow, you can transform into a statue.
Is that a fox or a tanuki?
A tanuki. Tanuki's fox's like mortal enemies.
Oh, the Keton,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm guessing that was a tanuki. Maple Forest.
Dude, hey, that's in color.
That's in color. That's cheating. That can't be in
Yeah.
color. Yeah. Gonna write to the developer and
Is there any more?
complain. How dare you use
There is more. Oh,
There's more.
different palettes.
With your kind support, Maple Forest launches summer 2025. Oh, there's a release time frame. I couldn't find it. It's at the end of this
Man.
trailer.
I am so excited.
Ooh, okay.
I've been following these guys for so long, or this guy rather, on Twitter for a while. Twitter, since it was probably still called Twitter. Dude, it's looking real good. So, yeah.
This man is geeking out a little hard, man.
I'm hyping pretty responsibly, if I may say so
don't blame
myself.
you. It looks like a really fun game.
It's currently being developed for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 and series consoles and PC being planned, but it's being made for Switch. There is a Kickstarter that is live right now that's going on for the next 23 days, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it is already pretty well funded, isn't it? I think it was funded in like its first few days, if I'm read their
It's already funded, yeah.
Yeah.
In the first 7 hours, they said.
the first 7 hours. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter and I was like, I can't. I'm just excited. So, do we have a link to the Twitter or to the Kickstarter we can throw in chat?
I can look it up if you want to keep chatting.
All right, yeah. Are y'all excited about that? Oh man. So Lowest Expectations says, "Is it not coming to Steam?" And that's a good question. I'll check that out. Because that does seem like an odd omission, doesn't it?
So, well, I mean, so here it is. Like from what I've read, I think they did like an interview, like a text writing interview with someone at some point. And I was reading it, and I think they said that they're developing it for the Switch, but PS5 and Xbox Series and PC are being planned.
Okay, so yeah, PC still planned. It's just not it's not a done deal just yet. But it does seem strange that it would you would think it would be there first, because I feel like most indies are. But I'm not going to complain.
Maybe they had a thing with Nintendo.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll have to interview the guy and find out.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it. It actually says in the Kickstarter page, Maple Forest physical edition, physical copy of Maple Forest, either the Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series, or PC. All physical Kickstarter copies will be using Kickstarter exclusive version, box art, yada yada. So yeah, so they're totally talking about like other whatchamacallit, other
Stretch goals and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not stretch goal, other platforms.
Yeah. They've got
so-
plans for other platforms.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
absolutely have plans for it. So I I think Steam is probably like extremely likely though. Just like everyone has their games on Steam.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that they're saying Switch 2 also. I wonder. Hopefully that'll be up by then. So,
Hmm.
so that pink-haired girl in the thumbnail is from another game. Do you want to tell us about it, Baku?
Yeah. What? Which one? What? The other pink hair
The
girl?
other
What?
pink-haired girl. Yeah, we have.
Okay.
That's a tempted segue.
So, from developer Ephemera comes a new multiplayer roguelike action RPG called Kernel Hearts. The game follows a group of super powered android magical girls, all the keywords, called
Oh,
the
man.
Mahou unit, MAHOU, all acronym, who are tasked to destroy a god to save the world from the brink of extinction. It is about as weeb as it gets. It's
Oh yeah.
it's a group of super powered magical girls called the Mahou unit, which
And they're
for anyone who does
androids.
not know moon runes, it means magic in Japanese. I'm just like, oh my god, some weeb decided to make this game here. Let's take a look at the trailer, just see how bad it is.
Oh, dude, this trailer looks sick, I think. But let's check it out.
Oh no, I mean the game looks great. I mean, let's see how bad it is in terms of how weep it gets. It's pretty.
Oh yeah. Girl with an eye patch and a samurai sword. Oh yeah.
The Mahou unit.
But yeah, like it's got nice character designs.
Yeah.
I think that the combat in the game looks pretty awesome as
Very
far as like
stylish.
action RPG combat goes. It does look a little like flashy. Zoom aroundy, maybe
Zoomy.
teleporty. Yeah,
And you can totally die, because this is what dying looks like. there.
apparently.
I like the character design.
That guy's gonna die too because he's smoking.
Oh yeah, he's totally gonna die.
His days are numbered.
I mean, it's got something for everyone. It's got a couple husbandos in there,
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
got something for the whole
entire-
family.
it's important. Magical girl
Oh, look at that
transformation.
magical girl transformation sequence.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Pink hair, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with the pose.
Oh yeah. Is that a Vocaloid?
I don't think so. They had to pay a lot of royalties if they wanted.
I mean-
these designs.
Like maybe like a in the background music. I'm talking like is that
Oh,
some kind of Vocaloid?
that I don't know. Either that or just like highly synthesized vocals.
A Vocaloid alike. At this point, I feel like with AI music, you can have a Vocaloid pretty easily.
Yes, actually. Putting them out of business.
Uh-oh.
Terrible.
Robots hurting.
Robots hurting robots, man.
Exactly.
Robots and robot violence. In a business sense, guys, not like physically. Although they do have those like
Although.
robot rumble arena. You've seen those?
No.
Where you put like a couple of robots and
Oh,
they
like
just,
BattleBots?
yeah, they just beat the
Yeah.
crap out of each other. Like they're
Oh, yeah.
live. They're real robots too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been around since like the 90s.
Yeah.
Those kinds of like competitions.
Robot
Sure.
robot violence.
I thought you were
Anyways,
talking about like humanoid robot fights. I'm like, I would watch that. That'd be pretty cool.
once we can get them to walk upright and actually not actually were we able to do it? I remember seeing like the dog robot from like what was that, like Boston Dynamics?
Oh yeah, Boston Dynamics.
but I don't remember seeing like a bipedal
Oh, they got
bot that
bipedal
can
bots.
have that level of agility. Not
Oh
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even
Anywho.
think they need to be that agile. I'd watch Osmo get torn apart. Okay, that's terrible.
Derek's not in for MMA. Like, oh, real human hurting each other. That's terrible. Let's just replace them with robots.
Yeah.
No release time frame for this game, Steve. I think it's fairly early in development, but it is being developed for PC via Steam, so definitely wishlist this on Steam if you're interested.
All right. So moving along, we've got another one here coming from developer Maz,
Yes.
welcome
Sorry, I
back.
just had to open the door to
It's
my
okay.
room. Yeah,
From
it's getting a
developer
little
Maz
warm in my room.
comes a new turn-based pixel RPG with a very unique art style called Artis Impact that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. And it has a trailer as well that
Yeah, I think you would like this. I don't think you've seen this one. Have you? Have you seen this one?
I have not seen this. It did not make it into the JRPG Weekly update because I didn't see it.
It's like a. It's like a.
Oh,
know.
it reminds me of like those old GIFs from back in the day that used to go on for like 2 minutes.
Yes,
Those were so cool back in the day. Anyways,
but made
What
into
is-
a game.
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think you're right. That's what it reminded me of. But it's like way more stylish, of course, in terms of like the design and stuff.
Super clean. At least there it was.
Yeah.
I gotta see more gameplay.
I want to see more combat
Oh,
shots.
that is interesting. What
Just
color? Oh,
Fishing? No.
there's color at a certain point.
Yes. I think this. I'm reluctant to say Near Automata, but I feel like there's some of that going on here.
What is?
I just saw like a pot thing
Yeah.
fly out. That and like the sort of black and white aesthetics to the main character. That's the overworld map.
That is.
I mean, this is
beautiful.
extremely pretty. It's just like it is definitely a very artistic like endeavor. Like it
I'd
is.
say it really. I mean, the name says artist. I was gonna
Artist,
say
yeah.
It really, it really puts the art in the phrase pixel art. I think
Mhm.
that's gorgeous, man.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, well, I'm just gonna. And there's nothing wrong with it, by the way, but like, there is that sort of pixel art style that we're used to for like the JRPG from like the golden age of the pixel art from like Super
Oh, and I
Nintendo
love
and
it.
maybe some early PlayStation. But this
This
is
is a
a
little
wholly different kind of like aesthetic.
Yeah. So,
And I
anyways, we don't
respect
really.
it.
Yeah, we don't really have a release date. Currently, it's being developed for PC only. There is a demo available for Steam though, and that's again, it's called Artis Impact, ARTIS. Go
Yes.
check that out because that is
I
that is
might
super
actually play
pretty.
the demo for this just because I'm so intrigued.
Just because,
know.
yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, we've got a game from Bushido Games that was announced actually also some time ago. And the reason why I never brought this game out is because I never saw that they were going to do a Western release or any kind of English support. It looked like it was going to be
Yeah.
Japan only. And now here's the thing, like if it's certain companies like Nisa or Falcom do like a release, and sometimes they'll release things in Japanese first in their domestic market, but quickly follow up and release them in the West, as you all know, then I have no problem like talking about, right? But like for the most part, I shy away from games that I'm not really sure if they're ever going to release outside of Japan, because I'll tell you about it and then it just like never get released in the West, and then we just let it fade and then we never come back to it, right? But now there's confirmation that this game is actually coming to the West, so now I'm eager to tell you about it. Again, it's from Bushido Games, or Bushido Road Games, and it is a side-scrolling action RPG based on a hit series. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Or better known as Danmachi. Like the title would
Is
make
that
it
the
sound
bet-
like it's gonna be
is that
like
the
a
faster way to
crazy
say it?
harem thing,
Yeah.
huh?
Is that
But,
is
like,
that what it? I mean,
Actually,
it's got
it is
Hestia.
not. Far from it, actually. I mean, okay, yes, there is some
There's a
level
little-
of harem involved, but it's not like the guy is actively trying to pick up girls everywhere in a dungeon and it's like super perverted. None of that. In fact, most of the series is just him trying to be a hero. It is actually like an underdog story. Like this guy comes up as like being pretty weak. He gets picked on all the time, and he actually spends a lot of time growing and learning new skills and challenging himself. And he doesn't get like suddenly super ultra powerful and just beat everyone out of nowhere either. Like
It's
three
just he
seasons
puts in the
and
work.
he's still like working on it.
Yeah.
So I kind of give it. I have some, and also it's not isekai. It is
Yeah.
not isekai. Despite what you might think, it is not isekai. There's no one being reborn
He's from
in
this
this
world.
world. Yeah,
Yep.
this is just straight up like fantasy. And I actually really appreciate it because I'm getting that like isekai fatigue as with like everyone else. Like
Little
another
isekai
guy
out.
that's like just reborn and whatever. No, this is just a straight up fantasy work. And it's super cool. For anyone who's not seen the anime. But back to the game itself. This is a side-scrolling action RPG again, so let's take a look at the trailer.
Alrighty.
It is in Japanese because they don't have an English
I was gonna
trailer,
say,
as far as I'm
I
concerned,
couldn't
yeah.
find an English trailer for JRPG Weekly Update. So when you said that you couldn't even tell if it was coming out to the West, I'm like, yeah, neither could
Until
I.
recently, yeah. Yeah, but this game, or this anime series, I actually really enjoy it, and I really do recommend it for people.
You know, I think the first season came out like 5 years ago or so.
It's been
Like
a
I
while.
watched,
This
I
is
watched
not
some of the
new.
first season,
Yeah.
and I didn't get too far. I kind of wanted to put it on hold until it was closer to completion, but
It's gonna be a while.
After listening
It's
to you
it's a
talk about it.
long-running- Yeah.
how many episodes are there?
I think the 3 seasons are out right now. I don't know how many episodes. Because, you know, sometimes one season spans one season worth spans 2 seasons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say
like
some
it's 26 episodes instead of
Yeah.
13.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, there's no standard here.
It's
It's
in the
its
fifth
fifth
season,
season.
says.
Never mind. I lied.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Looks like
I
you
don't
have some
even
catching up to
remember
do,
how much
Baku.
of this I watched. I mean, they all blend into a single story for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So I
Seasons
just
don't
watch all
matter
of
when
them.
you're binge watching.
That is what happens when I binge watch, yes, and I do that quite a lot. I don't like cliffhangers for the most part, so when there's a lot, there's a season this season, which is the 5th. Okay, so I watched 4 of them. And they're also like, you know, special episodes, OVAs, movies. I really like this series just because the name is a little deceptive. The name would make you feel like, yeah, the main character is probably a perv and just picks up girls everywhere. No, far from it. He does none of those things.
So what's the full name of the game?
Oh, jeez. The entire name to this game, get ready for it's not the longest because we've seen longer. Remember that?
I
the
do.
longest name possible.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not the longest, it's quite long. It is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Question mark. Familiar myth dash full land of water and light. Fulland is a place in this game where this game takes place, I think.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
Quite
so you
quite
can
the name.
look forward to playing that on February 27, 2025.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. And then we've got some industry news. That is, speaking of Forge of the Fae, Derek, do you want to go ahead and tell us about this?
Oh, sure.
'Cause Derek told me about this.
Yeah, because I was just, catching up on some stuff. So Forge of the Fae, they hit a new milestone. And David put out there on Twitter that a certain somebody was going to be joining the crew as a guest composer and
Guest musician.
a guest musician. Yes.
Yes.
And I don't know this person, but I figured Baku would, since they happen to be known for their work on Nier Automata and Dark Souls.
Mhm.
So that'd be Ms. Emmy Evans is going to
Oh,
be joining
yeah.
Forge of the Fae as a guest musician. So
Ooh.
that's
Emmy
awesome.
Evans, though.
Are they
that-
any good, Baku? Can you tell
Are
me?
they any good? Are
Yeah,
they
who-
any
who-
good?
who dis? Never played Automata. Who dis?
I mean, I feel like, maybe Derek should play Nier Automata. I don't know. I just feel like he's missing out on one of the best game ever made. Just saying.
All right, guys. 500 subs this month to the new YouTube channel, and maybe I'll play one stream of Near Automata.
Oh, I think once you play one stream, you'll play the entire thing. There's no way. Also, here's the thing: Nier Automata is not even a long game. Like in all, like, yeah, no, compared to all the RPGs, no, it's a pretty short game. You can finish it in like probably 4 streams.
Oh yeah,
Unlike
because you only play it through once, right?
No, like through all the endings to completion, you could probably do it in 4 streams. It's not a long game.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, no, it's Nier Automata is not a long game at all. But anyways, I digress. I mean, everything is short compared to Persona and SMT and
That's fair.
Trails to anything. Yeah, think of it more like East length.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Fairly short. I mean, it long enough to tell a good story, but it won't overstay its welcome, which is again another thing I appreciate about Nier Automata. But back to Miss Emmy Evans. Oh my God, probably one of the best vocalists I've heard like ever in my life. She is amazing. Her just artistry. I want to say it's not even like, oh yeah, she's a great singer. It's just her artistry is it's hard to explain because I'm not like, I'm not a musician, so it's hard to explain it, right? But she's just on another level.
Okay.
Like when you hear her, and you would have heard her voice if you had ever played Nier Automata or really any of the Nier games. I believe she was also in the original Nier. I believe, and I could be wrong, and chat can correct me on this, but I think she was responsible for creating that like make-believe language for the Nier games, and the vocal thereof. So when you hear like some of the Nier tracks or Nier Automata tracks, and then it just sounds like gibberish. You're not sure like what they're singing. Like it just vaguely sounds like some kind of language. That's Emmy Evans. She made that. She composed it, and she performed it, all to like a masterful degree. Chaos language, yeah.
Wow.
All to like it's just incredible. So that's why I say it's like an artistry. It's not just like, oh yeah, she's got great vocal. No, she's does all these things for the game.
right.
And without her, like Nier wouldn't be what it is. I mean, yes, sure, Okabe is a great composer, but Emmy is that magic touch that just added like just that extra oomph that made everything to that level of
You
like,
sound pretty
greatness.
excited there, Baku.
I am extremely excited.
Are you
for Emmy
hyping
Evans.
responsibly over there?
No, chill. She is too good. Yeah. So when Derek sent me the message, like, oh yeah, did you know that like Emmy Evans gonna be a guest musician for Forge of the Fae? And I'm like, what? Like, David, what did you do? Like, what strings did you pull? Like, how the heck did you get Emmy Evans on your game?
Must have been the purse ones.
You know what I think? It's because, it's obvious. It's because David came on our show. That's why. No,
You're right.
Obviously,
well-known fact.
That's the reason
Well-known
why.
fact that Emmy Evans watches
Yeah.
HitPoint religiously.
Yeah, Emmy was watching the show. Miss Evans was watching the show. She's watching the show right now. Shout out to Miss Evans. And then she's like, "Oh wow, this game looks cool. I should reach out to David to see if he would like me to be a guest." Of course,
Happy we could assist.
could be
with
no
that.
other explanation.
No other explanation.
No other explanation possible. No, but seriously, this
by the
is,
way, that's facetious.
amazing.
These
Yeah.
are jokes, people. Okay,
Yeah.
so
All right.
you want to
So
talk about this
moving
next
on
one?
from my excitement, I think this next piece of news might be exciting to some of you. I'm pretty interested in this one. So a new NHK documentary series is coming out soon that will delve into the origin of Japanese games industry. And the first episode will focus on Final Fantasy and its creators, Hironobu Sakaguchi, Koichi Ishii, the character designer, Yashitaka Amano, which because a lot of you guys know as like the weird art that comes with like Final Fantasy, like the character concept art
The
that like doesn't
painterly
really
stuff.
translate into the game itself. But like he has a very extremely unique style, like the Amano art. Like as soon as you say Amano, you're like, oh, that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
Derek?
I know the watercolor stuff that like
Yeah, the watercolor stuff. I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. It's just like it's like a thing that never translates into the game.
mhm.
And people are always like, well, what is this? What does it have to do with like the character design? No, he does like the design and concept art, and it's like legendary,
He
right?
sets the
So
tone. Yeah.
yeah. So he's gonna be in these, and of course, we can't talk about Final Fantasy without talking about Nobuo Uematsu. He's also going to be interviewed in this series from NHK. So I mean, that's just the first episode. They plan on doing like a series of that talks about different games in the industry, right? So I don't know what other games they plan on diving into, but at least this first episode will be on nothing but just like Final Fantasy. And also, oh, sorry, one more person, Katsuko Shibuya. She's the, again, legendary pixel artist who worked on some of the earliest, like, remarkable pixel art that a lot of people have taken inspiration from and have since followed the style thereof. Like, this is the person who had started it all. So kind of an unsung hero kind of thing. So yeah, we talk about Sakaguchi all the time. We talk about Uematsu, but did you know that there's a person named Katsuko Shibuya who really pioneered these pixel arts? Bet you haven't. Well, you will get to hear their story and much more in this documentary series that will debut in NHK on November 11th. So next month sometime.
Yeah.
And it will be available in English on his website. So you don't have to
That's
understand moon runes. It
that
will
was
be in
going to be
English.
my big question. Is like
Yeah.
this all sounds good and all, but if it stays in Japanese only,
It's like, yeah, I have a hard time understanding this moon rune here.
Yeah.
Sorry, not November 11th. Sorry, October 11th. My bad.
Oh,
Yes.
right around the corner. Then.
October
This
11th.
week.
Yeah, that's why
This
it's
week.
so like imminent. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
like, wait a minute. It's not November. We're like, hold on a sec. I had to double check it after I said it.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's all right.
October 11th.
One of the
yes, this
subroutines
week.
picked it up afterwards.
Yeah.
So
in fact, let me just throw a link in chat right now for anyone who might be interested in, because we cannot add links in the description. I just want to give you the link now so you can just go watch it yourself later on.
all right. Next up, we have a little bit of an update on a game that I'm very excited about, and I think a lot of you are too. It's from Sandfall Interactive and Kepler Interactive. They've announced that its upcoming turn-based RPG called Clair Obscure Expedition 33 has achieved over 250,000 wish lists on PC via Steam ahead of its release next year. This is that like
Dang.
realistic looking. I don't know if the word AAA quite applies, but it looks really nice. High
Certainly
fidelity.
looks that way.
Yeah, it looks that way, but it's not from like a huge team or anything, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, over 250,000 follows. That's good. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like I guess it kind of brings us to this whole thing, which is like they have boldly claim that this is a turn-based JRPG. They've said it. They're like, we're not going to be shy about this. This is going to be a JRPG. And not only is it going to be a JRPG, it is going to be a JRPG that's going to blow your socks off.
Yeah.
Like they've made some bold claims, right?
That's
so
good.
we're like, oh yeah, what does that look like? And then of course the trailer comes out and everyone is like just drops their jaw like this game looks amazing. The visuals, the battle like of what we have seen looks great. The backstory is intriguing. They've also give us like snippets of like what's happening in that world. Like why is there an expedition? Like what does that all mean? Everything about it is just like it just draws you in, right? But the important thing is that this is a single player turn-based RPG. Okay, no gotchas. Okay, no multiplayer, anything, not action.
No games as a service.
Maybe fishing. I don't know. Like we'll see, because you can't call yourself a JRPG. You don't have a fishing mini game there. I hope
This
they got
is
the
a
memo.
fact.
Yeah. So, I think that's the notable thing. Like this is exactly the polar opposite of what people like, Tim Sweeney, if you know who that is, that's the Epic guy, who's so set on, the fact that everyone's gonna be multiplayer now. Okay, single player experience is dead. Like the dude's like famous in basically being wrong about that. So when you have 250,000 people wish listing a game, uh, just on Steam only. Now remember, this game comes on platform. There are a bunch of other platforms like PlayStation, Xbox. We're not counting those. Just Steam is 250 so far. That's crazy.
Pretty wild, man.
Yeah. So much for generational change. So much for single players dead. We never believed it for a second because we still like single player and we're not dying. Hopefully,
I mean,
anytime soon.
I feel like there's got to be other
like,
people
wait a minute.
out there who are like me that like the idea of multiplayer is physically repulsive. I mean, I'm good with like co-op, but like online multiplayer, like nah. I'd rather play games with people I know, if at all, you know.
Yeah, to be clear, this is not us hating on multiplayer. It's not one or the other. It's
Oh, I
not
am.
like I hate
am.
Roblox or like I hate.
I do.
Oh, you hate Roblox? Okay,
I hate it. I don't know Roblox. All I know is that they have that oof sound, and I hate it.
Ugh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But
or
I'm
like
just,
I hate
you know.
MMOs or that's another game that has like multiplayer.
Am I counterculture? Is that
Maybe.
this
Does
whole like
that make you counterculture?
yeah? I think
According to Sweeney, yes.
I'm cool.
According to Sweeney, you're a hipster. I don't know.
Oh man,
Yeah.
well, I mean, look at me.
What's that one game from Capcom? Monster Hunter. Yeah, it's not like I hate Monster Hunter. Like these things just coexist, just like PC versus like console. There's no versus; they just both exist. Like I don't know why people just can't just like
Yeah.
let that be.
I don't think
every
anybody
single
could-
year there has to be like deaf to the console and deaf to single player or deaf to turn based. Like no, they are very much alive in 2024.
It seems
Decades after
weird.
these predictions.
It seems strange to me that anybody at any point would be like, could with a straight face say, that single player is dead any more than they could say multiplayer is dead. Like it's obviously that's an obvious falsehood, but whatever.
So I was talking about this on my Discord, and then one of our resident friend hanging out in Discord, he was like, oh well, it's just the internet, like it's just people overreacting to single player, and they're like, single player is dead. And then I told him, I was like, you know what, if it was only just small number of people on the internet overreacting and making a big fuss over things, it wouldn't be such an issue. The problem is heads of these studios are convinced that single players games are dead. Remember Square Enix CEO, or at least the previous CEO, who really want to start moving Square Enix away from single player experience to multiplayer experience. And Platinum Games CEO, the new one that came in, same thing. Right? And
There is one counter argument I could see is if this person was talking specifically about like the monetization aspect of it, because multiplayer people who play, those kinds of games, they do spend more, they do be spending. Whereas single player is like a one and done. You release the game, they buy it once, they're done. So like comparatively, from a money perspective, it's probably not even close anymore. But from the perspective of like what gamers want to play, it's not dead.
Yeah, it's a little paradoxical. But I think the danger to that thinking, at least for them, is they're thinking like Fortnite's the future kind of deal.
Mhm.
or like that's what everyone is flocking to. It's like, no, Fortnite is more of an exception, not the rule.
Yeah, but also
And that's why,
one of
yeah.
the other mistakes they're making is thinking that there can be multiple Fortnites and they will happen to be whatever the other Fortnite is. Like that's very unlikely. And aiming for
Well,
that is very precarious and laden with its own downfalls.
yeah. I mean, if Fell of Babylon is anything to go off of. I mean, look, you can say that it didn't work out because it was just genuinely a bad game, but the reality is we had a Square Enix CEO who was very keen on making that like the new flagship for Square Enix,
Mhm.
and also a equally enthused CEO or president who was heading Platinum Games, who also have gone on record to say we are now only going to focus on multiplayer experience. The entire studio, yeah, he's gone on record to say that we're
Yeah.
not doing single player games anymore, which they're famous for developing, by the way. We're not going to do any of that anymore. We're going to do multiplayer only. The first thing that they made was with Square Enix, their old partner in crime, because Nier Automata was so well, right? Because before that, like they were working with other studios. They went into this multiplayer thing. They had the shared vision. It was going to be grand. It was going to be great, and it flopped like hell. And everyone involved was burned to oblivion. I was
Mhm.
kind of hoping that they learned their lesson, but I don't know how much faith I have in game studios learning their lessons. Still, I'm very worried about that. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't end well, and there will always be there will be like 30 attempt and one success, but then everyone is trying to beat that success, and they're completely forgetting all the failures that could
Mhm.
happen. Maybe a little bit too optimistic and not realistic enough in their expectation. Because Derek, to your point, like yeah, that basically can only be one. I mean, there's a limited pot of money that's going
Yeah.
around.
There can
You
only be
know,
one cultural phenomenon. That's what makes it a phenomenon.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. They think all it takes is one success,
yeah.
but at what cost, right? Just oof,
Yeah.
they just bleed. They bled
I
money. I
mean,
mean, what
it
Sony?
reminds
Come
me
on, you're
of it reminds me of people who are like, "Oh, I just got to make one viral YouTube video, and then
mhm.
my channel's going to blow up." It's like that's not how that works. And
Yeah.
and the chances of that video going viral are like incredibly thin and narrow, and yeah,
It's like
it's a
betting your
that's a
life on a lottery. Do people win lotteries? Yes. Should you bet your future on winning on one? No.
yeah, it's not an
What?
investment strategy.
Yeah, it's not a great investment strategy. So, I can retire if I win the lottery. Like,
All I got to
maybe
do
don't bet on
is
that. I don't
just,
know.
buy more lottery
Yeah,
tickets
just
and
buy more lottery tickets. My
put all
entire
of my
investment account is just to
uh-huh.
buy lottery tickets.
Yep,
I will win one
exactly.
of these days. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's what it feels like. Yeah. Are there success stories? Sure. Is it likely? No, not at all. Um, Anywho, I think that's the interesting thing. So I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Like, do you think this is like the major comeback if there even was a decline of single player games, or do you feel like it's just kind of like a pendulum thing where we're kind of swinging left and right and we're just trying to find a sweet spot where the two can kind of coexist, which I don't think they were ever at odds to begin with, but these companies just keep wanting to have us go to the thing that makes them the most money.
maybe
Truly.
is this another thing like the console wars where like
Hmm.
the only one who wins in a console war is like the game studios who are like, yeah,
I
go
don't
go champion
know.
our cause,
I don't know. Like,
build that
are
brand
the people?
loyalty.
That's true. There's the whole brand loyalty thing, but
Hmm.
the console war is kind of interesting to me because without the console war, there's no competition, and no competition, we would lose as consumers.
That
So
is
how do
true.
yeah,
I think though when I think of the console wars, I think of like the
tribalism?
90s
Oh,
the 90s console wars. That was a whole other beast. Are you a Sega kid or are you a Nintendo kid? Like that was, that was
what
different
Sega
back in
does
the
what
day.
Nintendo don't, like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that one. That was so good. I
Oh,
want Sega to come back and make consoles again. Like forget Nintendo. It's just come back and give us Dreamcast 2. I will buy Dreamcast 2. They were so good. And this time maybe don't let like Sega US like make any decision. Just centralize your console making decision to, not have Sega US like just do their own thing. Like that was crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Learn from your mistakes, Sega.
Well, I mean, I think they did, and getting
Yeah,
out of the
by
consoles
exiting the
was
console.
probably.
I am worried that Xbox is going to exit the console war. To be very honest, I'm very nervous that Xbox will leave because not that I'm a fan of Xbox, but I like the competition. I like that there is something that keeps Sony on their toes just a little bit. But without Microsoft, like it's just full reign for Sony because Nintendo is not trying to
Mhm.
compete against Sony per se. I mean, despite being the console, they're not competing
I
on the
don't
same
think
things.
I
They haven't for a
while
while.
Xbox is less competitive with the kinds of games that we care about,
Mhm.
I do think that we're seeing a rising competitor in PC, especially Steam
Yeah.
Deck, and just PC gaming. And honestly, like PlayStation 5 at this point is kind of like for 500, for 600, that's a pretty decent gaming PC money, like but like it does well for what it costs. Especially if you go like secondhand or something. As opposed to like spending 600 on a PC, like you could probably get along okay, but PS5 is probably a better experience for the money. But yeah, I think that if Microsoft eventually exits consoles, then there will still be competition. Um, it'll just be probably a little more fierce, you know, and it's going to just basically come down to budget and
Yeah.
because the number of people who are making games, especially RPGs on PC, is increasing pretty drastically at this point.
Yeah.
So, um, like, yeah, I think Martino
People are
Magico just
getting
said
more tech
recently
savvy.
that
Um,
that consoles in general are becoming kind of less relevant over time.
I mean, I still see console as just having this one leg up over PC, and I have not thought of a way personally that could overcome this, and that is the console is a single spec that you have to adhere to. Everything
Hmm.
just works. There's a company that will fix your stuff. You don't, yeah,
Yeah.
it has a proprietary operation system, pretty
Hmm.
much. So it's a one-stop shop. You plug it in, it plays, it
Yeah.
works. People will say, well, but what about pre-built PCs? But you still have different specs.
Yep.
Every single PC basically has different specs.
That's
And
right.
so developers have to consider all the different specs, all your CPUs, all your GPUs, all the different combinations, and troubleshoot a bunch of things versus console is just, well, this is the spec. Here it is. All the millions of people own the system, same thing. Update, push through, boom, everyone has the same thing.
Hmm.
It's way easier to deal with.
Yep. As a
Um,
consumer, it's easier than PC.
and
Yep.
that's just a thing that, no offense, like PC can't do. Yeah, pre-built you can plug and play, sure, but from the developer standpoint, it's still thousands and thousands of combinations of hardware.
Hmm.
All these different companies making different kinds of PCs and the next generation, different graphics card, um, different parts in general. Like they're not unified, right?
Yeah.
So from a developer perspective, it could be very painful.
Yep.
And this is coming from a person who has been building PCs for years and years and years. Like I've been doing this for like
Oh yeah.
more than two
I
decades.
think you and I know more than anybody as who've been like on the support side of things. Some people don't want to put any thought into it. They are happy put in the cartridge or the disc and go.
Yeah.
You know. or I guess
And I don't
just
blame them because
select it from the store.
I don't want to deal with it. Like
I know.
I come home from a long day of work. I just want to play a game. Or I just
Yeah.
want to watch a movie or something. Like I don't want to deal with all this. Like I don't
Gaming is a
care. You know?
hobby, and some people just want to enjoy the hobby without having a second hobby of being into computers, and I get that.
Yeah, and there's no shame in that. Like, Derek and I happen to be in tech field, and we happen to be more tech savvy than the average person. So like, we don't, we don't think anything of it. But there's plenty of people who just don't want to touch a tech, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, I just don't see any way around it. Quite frankly, I have not thought of a way around it where you could somehow unify the different builds and then just do like one build for a game that just works for everything, guarantee. You can't.
Well, in 20, 20, 30 more years, we'll have the Omni system that everybody just uses. It's a subscription-based service that you have to the
Oh jeez.
the Omni computer.
The
And we all
Omni
just plug into
computer.
the matrix, and you just, that's how it is.
Yeah. The problem with cloud gaming, by the way, I see people talking about cloud gaming. The problem with cloud gaming, again, just this continuous thing that happens, which is connectivity and latency. If you live in like a major city, you have good internet connection, of course, yeah, that's fine. And you can have like a center of all these hardware, and then you're basically just streaming the game, and you have like an input and display coming back and forth between you and the center. Yeah, of course. But you're discounting all the people that don't have that kind of connection, which is actually a big chunk of the world don't have that kind of connection to sustain like real-time action gameplay.
That
Turn-based,
sliver
maybe.
of people, though,
Yeah.
is shrinking. It's not very fast, but it is shrinking. And again, 20, 30 years.
Oh, and as game processing demands go higher, so does the bit rate, right?
Yeah,
So as
maybe.
the games look prettier, more pixels, guess what? More data being transferred.
I don't think, like, here's the thing, like, we can already not really perceive 4K worth of pixels as it is, like, from a certain distance. Like, unless you're like this close to a 4K screen, like you're probably not perceiving every pixel. So there is an upper threshold.
they have to do some clever like net like rollback.
Sure.
Yeah, they have to do some clever net codes, but like
Especially when they
again,
introduce like, eye tracking, and they can increase the bit rate and resolution to where you're looking at on the fly, like they've done for some headset based stuff. Yeah, you can really offset the required bit rate pretty well. Again, 20, 30 years, the Omni computer is going to have us all plugged into the, the matrix anyway. But until then, yeah, it's just I don't know.
yeah, I won't say with any level of certainty what happens then, because boy, like if you just look backward, let's take us back 30 years, right? Like we wouldn't imagine 2024 being like this, like as far as like technology, what is capable is concerned. Like a lot of this would just like seem like magic. I mean, certain visionary would say like, oh yeah,
Dude.
no, totally saw that coming, but
I mean, 3 years
yeah.
ago, ChatGPT wasn't even like a thing, and now it's like
Jeez.
now we have generated AI videos that what
Yeah.
the progress has been there has been much progress.
So absolutely. But I think I'm a little bit more pessimistic on this one, not because of like technology, but more just the implementation thereof and the business end of things.
Oh yeah.
You have to getting internet company to, improve their networks to people who are living in like more rural areas is the kind of business endeavor that I don't see them doing. So it's
Yeah,
not
that's-
about like technology only, but
See,
there
there
are
is
business
that.
ends of things that I don't see happening.
but there are also going to be Starlinks and its competitors and things that can beam satellite.
If internet companies were competitive, you see, but they're not. Remember, like at least in the States. Okay, I'm just talking about in the States, but at least in the States,
Yeah.
they're hardly competitive. Like there's usually one dominant like internet provider in your area.
It's at best it's like a duopoly in most
Yeah.
places.
And that's the problem.
At
Yeah.
best.
They're not if they were actually competitive all over the place, I would probably agree with you, but they're not.
So
And that's been a problem.
before I think we've already belabored the point at this point, but do you want to move us along to some of the merch that you wanted to talk
Yes,
about?
let's talk about merch drop. So,
Okay.
sorry, we get nerds get excited about
About technology.
technologies. I apologize. Okay, let's oh wait, did I accidentally close it out?
Oh, maybe.
Nope, no, I did not.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you see it? Do you see it? You want to switch over? Yes.
I see it.
All right, let's talk about merch drops. So this is going to be exciting for some people who does not require the internet to do any of this, and that is a tabletop RPG. Yay!
Hey,
Physical
I like
RPGs.
those.
Yeah, really taking that physical to the next level. Okay. So for any
Wait. Is
fans
this
of
multiplayer? Gross.
multiplayer, I have to sit next to a person to play this. This is called East Age of Heroes, which is an official Falcom licensed tabletop RPG, and that is going to be available on Lightning Source, Drive-Thru RPG, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble. Oh my god, good old Barnes and Noble still alive? They still exist? What?
That's news to me.
Yeah. So this is the title is stated to be canonically 50 years after Edo Christian's last known whereabouts and roughly a century after the events of East 1 and East 2, which is very interesting. So I think for any East fans out there, this could be a nice gift, for example, for one of your like super diehard East fans. Or if you are that diehard East fan yourself, maybe find a couple more of these East fans and you can sit together and play this tabletop RPG. It's only going for $60, which is basically like a brand new, physical copy. But it does look really pretty. I mean, if nothing else, this could be like an art thing. So yeah, highly recommended for our East fans. Shout out to Noisy Pixel, of course, who covered this piece that we're referencing here. Next, oh boy, this is the final story to the day, and that is the Phantom Thieves are no longer coming from your heart, but they're coming for your wallet.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so Atlas has partnered up with our old friend Prime One Studio. They're known for making extremely detailed statues, basically works of art at this point. They're not even figures anymore. Of pop culture icons. They've done stuff for like Batman. They've done stuff for like Full Metal Alchemist. This time, they're making surprisingly not a Joker. But they have chosen Makoto Nijima from Persona 5, and also her personal persona, Johanna, as a new statue.
Yeah.
It's only going to cost you a measly $1,500.
Is that
not
it?
Including shipping.
Only $1,500.
Only
Wow.
$1,500. So
does that
affordable.
include like
My
an
God.
installation fee or anything, or is that a?
Yeah, I that might be separate. I don't know. You have to work it out with them. But yeah, but look at the size of this thing. It's like it stands 42 centimeters. It's 70 centimeters long and 43 centimeters wide. It's a hefty art piece. I want to call this an art piece. I don't
here's
want to
the
call this
thing.
a figure. A figure is like $200. This is not
No.
a figure. This is
This is
an
a
art
statue.
piece. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a proper statue.
Like-
This thing is big.
I'm thinking, I'm seeing this and I'm thinking like $1,500 for the statue, but then how much do you need, like, as far as like fundage goes, to secure a place to display something like that? That is beautiful, but like, do you have like a statuette room that you like put these in, like when you have the money and the desire to this, or is this like Or is this also one of those things that like you keep it in the box in the top of your closet or something? It must never be opened or sealed.
Well, no, you buy two. One is for display and one is for storage.
Right.
So $3,000 US
Okay.
dollars.
Okay.
Yes.
And then again, you like need to like rent a space or something to like display. No, yeah, you probably wouldn't. If you
Donate it to your
had
local
enough money.
museum and then
Yeah.
like let them display it for you.
visit it
you
on the
know?
weekends.
I mean, I said not a Joker, but they actually had a Joker. I didn't know that. They
Oh.
had one.
Oh, well, what was the cost
Yeah.
on that one?
Only $900.
What a bargain.
Yeah, but that's the deluxe
What?
version. The regular version is only $700. What a
Oh
deal!
my gosh. How could
What a
you could
deal.
you can't afford to not buy it at
Yeah,
that
you
price.
can't afford to not buy this. You're crazy. What a steal!
You know,
Yeah, but boy, $1,500 is pretty hard to swallow. It's true.
I'm happy for people who can afford that. You know, good for them.
Good for them. Okay, so speaking of like who would buy these things, right? So you know what? If I can find this, I have a personal story to tell. I'm gonna embarrass my friend for a second here.
Go on.
Okay, so speaking of expensive things,
Oh.
yeah. So this I actually I don't know if I talked about this on our on HitPoint at some time.
No.
But this
I-
is like not real chess. This is like some kind of make believe chess game. As
Kingdom
you'll
Hearts
see, like
chess.
the board is like diagonal, right? It's not the
Uh-huh.
standard like
Uh-huh.
chessboard. So
And it's got raised and
reminiscent
lowered
of chess,
sections,
but it's
yeah.
not chess. Yeah. So this pretty chess set, let's call it, is modeled after different characters and whatnot. It's Kingdom Hearts themed, and they do play this in the game, right?
Yep.
And this is one of those things where I saw it and I was like, who in the right mind would spend $700 to buy a fictional chess-like game? Like, if this was a real chessboard, even then I'm like, oh, this person must really love chess and Kingdom Hearts. Like, who in the right mind would buy this?
You know,
And I found out yesterday.
I was gonna say you should be able to flip it over and play like regular chess on it.
Oh, that would have been a smart thing to do. Except here's the problem: this part of this chessboard is raised, so you
Yeah.
can't even like put it flat on the other side.
Yeah, you'd have to have some sort of stand special
Yeah.
for it.
Anywho,
Yeah.
it's just, well, I found out yesterday. Friend of mine, I was at a friend's birthday yesterday, and her boyfriend actually bought this chess set for her because she's a super huge Kingdom Hearts fan. And so there you go. I found out who would buy these.
That's honestly, it's kind of cool. But I just wouldn't
It's
have.
cute. I
wouldn't have room
respect
for
it, but also like
I just know better than to think I have room to display something like that.
oh, and they're moving to a smaller place. So I don't know how they're gonna make this. Oh,
Well-
I don't think it's a very well thought out gift, but she loved it, and that's all that matters, truly.
Well, you
So-
know what? Whoa, whoops, wrong button. Whoa, hold
Oh
on, hold on.
no, Derek's
There we
trying
go.
to end the show. Ah!
Almost. Oh, not quite. Let's see. I had another. This is the button I wanted to talk about or press. This one.
Yes. Go on.
That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do next time Baku and I go off on like a 30-minute tangent. I'll just play Baku off with like the outro music.
Go on.
No. All right, so let's go ahead and move along to the super chats and stuff that we've gotten throughout the day. And we've got one here from Still Alive who says, "My take is if Capcom can redeem themselves with the fans, so too can Square Enix. We'll see. If not, we can just go indie."
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
that's
agree.
true. I
I
feel
agree.
like Konami has been working their way that way. Square Enix has been working their way that way. Capcom has been. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing, I think, sort of a return to senses slowly but surely And it's a little bit early still to call it for either Konami or Square Enix, but but they are working their way that way, and that's
Yeah.
progress. You know, that makes me happy.
Yeah. I mean, we've done whole segments dissecting their business plan and talking about how they replaced their boards and all that. So changes comes, bottom up, top down. Like all sorts of ways. We're seeing the commitment. Now we just need to see results. Will they stick to it? Will they relapse? Like, it's like kind of like quitting the habit, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've been there. I smoked years and years ago, right? And I tried to quit many times. And then one of those times I stuck, and I haven't smoked in almost 20 years,
Wow,
which is I'm really, yeah, I know.
that's
Almost, yeah.
congrats.
Actually, no, not almost 20. No, that's crazy. No, almost 15 years. 15
Well,
years.
still,
Almost 15 years. Yeah.
still,
So,
well done.
yeah, but before that, I tried quitting many times. But I guess it's kind of the same way. It's like habits. People have habits. Companies have habits. Culture, can they truly change the culture and really turn things around? Only time will tell. So, but have they made some very promising moves? Absolutely. So I look forward to seeing what else they would do. Coming back to form, as Derek has said. Romance and Saga 2, I feel like it's probably one of the first games that they are displaying as coming back to form. And so far, I've seen people play the demo and people are just loving it. So we'll see,
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that about does it for us today. But hey, if you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to give it a like on whatever platform you're watching or listening on. If you're on the the SuperDerek YouTube channel version, you might want to go check out the other HitPoint channel version
That's
that
right.
isn't missing the first 30 minutes of the show. 'Cause-
We were gonna talk about this. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yes. So when we started the show, we were talking about the other channel, which you can see that's pinned in the Derek chat.
That's right.
Here's the other thing that we may or may not have talked about in the past, and that is all the old VODs are turned off after a while in the Super Derek channel. So they are kept, unhidden in the new channel. So if you'd like to, send some comments, it's probably better to actually write it in the new channel. So
Yeah.
we'll just have them forever, available to look at. And if you're looking for old episodes, they're actually all over at the new channel. Even though they're hidden in Derek's channel, they have not been deleted, they have not been forgotten. Derek spent an ungodly amount of time to move and migrated all the videos to the new channel. Like, was it like 90 something of those videos got moved
It's-
over there?
Yeah.
It's a good amount, like 2 years plus of us doing like HitPoint. So if you want to look at like the archive, it's all the new channel, and all the new videos will just be archived like how we used to in the new channel too. We are coming close to 500 follows over there, or subscribe, YouTube. Yes. So we're really trying to get us to be able to monetize over there. So it would really help us out if you haven't already, to follow us over in the new channel, and to really start using the new channel for like the default place to enjoy this podcast. Unless of course you're on like Apple Podcasts or whatever,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
stay where you are.
Long
But
term-
if you are on YouTube, head over to the
Yeah.
new channel.
Long-term plan is, or even just like medium-term to short-term, is that we're probably going to stop streaming on SuperDerek YouTube channel and just exclusively stream over on HitPoint. So if you enjoy the show, you should probably get subscribed over there to make sure you don't miss us. But with that said, I think that's about it for us today.
That is about it.
I hope you all had that. I hope you all had a great night. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.